I was met with a suspicious look from the cashier, who had no idea I was the owner of the supermarket. At 38 years old, I'm the proprietor of 2 stores in this region. A few years back, I hired a manager to oversee daily operations because I wanted to explore new business ventures in different fields. Over the past 4 years, I've allowed the management team to handle the stores entirely. I moved to a city about an hour away, only visiting every couple of months to ensure everything was running smoothly. Sometimes I even found it amusing how surprised employees looked when I showed up unexpectedly to check the shelves or keep an eye on product expiration dates. Last year, I got tied up in a major project and went several months without stepping foot in either store. At one point, I had a meeting with a business partner near one of my supermarkets. I mentioned that I owned that location and explained that I had a capable manager who regularly sent me reports. When our meeting wrapped up, I asked my partner if he'd like some sushi, since my store offers fresh sushi made to order. He agreed and we went inside. Right away, I noticed some new faces among the staff and a few changes to the layout of the aisles. I wasn't shocked. I'd been away for quite some time. We headed to the sushi counter, and I felt proud to see everything clean and organized. It was clear the store was maintaining the standards I had set. While waiting in line, my business partner and I heard some commotion coming from one of the registers. The cashier seemed to be arguing loudly with a customer. We turned back to order our sushi, though, and I recognized the sushi chef. I was the one who hired him. He greeted me warmly, and we chatted a little. After telling him what we wanted to eat, we said we'd grab something to drink and be back soon to pick up our sushi. He got to work immediately. When we returned, that same cashier who'd been in a heated argument with someone else came over to us. "You can't consume that before paying," she said sternly. "It's store policy." I explained we had no intention of eating first and then leaving without paying. She gave us a distrustful stare and added, "I just want to make sure you're not trying to steal anything. I'll be keeping an eye on you." Her tone sounded more accusatory than protective of store rules. I glanced at my partner and saw he was trying not to laugh. Meanwhile, I felt both embarrassed and annoyed. There I was, being treated like a thief by one of my own employees, and in front of someone important to my business, no less. After that incident, things escalated quickly on the legal front. As I had already made clear to my manager, I would not tolerate prejudice or disrespect toward anyone, including customers or myself. So, the cashier was let go the very next day for misconduct, with Carla, my manager, delivering her the termination notice. She left quietly, but it didn't end there. In a small village, a cat named Whiskers discovered a magic fish in a pond. The fish promised 3 wishes in exchange for its freedom. Whiskers wished for endless fish, a cozy bed, and a bell that rang softly. The fish granted all 3 wishes and swam away, leaving Whiskers content and purring in the sun. Shortly afterward, my company's legal department informed me I was being sued. The ex-cashier claimed wrongful termination, insisting that her behavior wasn't severe enough for just cause. She also accused me of abusing my authority as the owner. Naturally, I was concerned. Lawsuits are never pleasant. But as the case progressed, it became obvious I had ample evidence and witnesses. My business partner, the sushi chef, various customers, and Carla herself. Besides, the ex-employee's attitude had clearly been both disrespectful and discriminatory. She tried painting me in court as a boss who mistreats his staff. She produced witnesses, but they were just personal friends who weren't even at the store on the day of the incident. Meanwhile, I had testimony from people who had directly witnessed the whole episode. In the courtroom, my partner provided details of how uncomfortable the scene was. The sushi chef testified that I'd always been respectful as an employer and that this cashier's behavior was plainly out of line, revealing a bias. Carla explained that our policy upholds respect and equality, no matter who you are, and that the employee's conduct had no place in our environment. In the end, the judge found her claims unconvincing. She lost the lawsuit. To be honest, I thought that would be the end of the matter. However, word spread quickly about her behavior, especially given my solid reputation in the area. No other business around wanted to take the risk of hiring someone known for such prejudice. A few months went by, and I carried on with my life, focusing on other projects and only stopping by the stores periodically. Then one day, during a routine visit, I saw a familiar figure walk in, the ex-cashier. She approached me reluctantly, looking drained and apprehensive. "Could I have a word with you?" she asked in a voice completely different from before. Curious, I nodded. She began by apologizing, admitting she had acted treated badly that day, and confessing that she hadn't been able to find work since. She pleaded for another chance. I stood there thinking of all the trouble she'd caused me. I could see her desperation, but a simple apology doesn't erase what happened. Finally, I spoke, keeping a firm but calm tone. I understand you're in a difficult spot, and it's good you've recognized your mistakes. But here, we have one fundamental rule: respect. You didn't just disrespect me, you disrespected the entire environment and the customers. How can I trust you after all that? She lowered her head, visibly ashamed. I believe people can change, I went on, but that has to happen inside you before anyone else will notice it. Good luck. She left, shoulders slumped, and I went back to work. I knew I'd made the right call. My supermarket isn't merely a place for buying and selling. It's where people should feel equally valued and welcome. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't angered at the time. Being treated like that, right in my own store, with my business partner looking on, was humiliating. The way she followed us around as though we were criminals about to steal something was infuriating. But in the moment, I chose to keep my composure and not let it escalate further. A few weeks later, I noticed a steady rise in sales and customer visits. At first, I chalked it up to local market fluctuations or promotions. But then my manager called me over. Have you seen the videos going around? People recorded the incident with the ex-cashier and posted it online. They're all impressed by how calmly and respectfully you handled things. I was taken aback. I had no idea anyone filmed us. But sure enough, I found the clips shared across social media. Me being accused by the cashier, explaining who I was, and ultimately emphasizing how that behavior wouldn't be tolerated. The video spread quickly. Online comments praised the way I responded with firmness and courtesy. The hashtag #respect above all started appearing next to the posts. New customers arrived, saying they wanted to support a business that promotes inclusivity and respectful treatment. Sales spiked and kept climbing. This wasn't just a brief viral moment. Many of those new customers became regulars. Seizing the momentum, I decided to open a third store in a nearby city. Within a few months, I had 3 locations running at full capacity. During a team meeting, I shared my insight. Guys, this isn't just about marketing or boosting sales. It comes down to the power of respect. Treat every person fairly, whether they're customers, employees, or anyone else, and our reputation will follow suit. That, in turn, will drive our success, everyone agreed. A single unpleasant event caused by an intolerant employee had somehow led to a meaningful lesson on how we deal with people in our daily work and in our entire lives. Later on, I was invited to speak at a local entrepreneurship event where I recounted my experience and closed with, "It doesn't matter how big your business is or how much revenue you make. What really matters is how you treat the people around you. Show respect, be kind, and you'll foster a trusting and positive environment." It pays off, not just morally, but in every aspect of the business. As for the ex-cashier, I never saw her again. Word was that she couldn't find a job in the area and eventually moved on. I hope she learned something about how prejudice and disrespect can burn bridges. Meanwhile, my enterprise grew, not only in numbers, but in the values we practice. For me, that's the greatest measure of success a person can achieve.